Hi everyone! On today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to change colours whilst knitting. And this is for any project that fits comfortably on the knitting needle without bunching. So you'll need a pair of scissors, some knitting needles, and 2 different colours of yarn. So we'll pop the scissors up out of the way because we're not going to need those until we change colours. And choose which colour yarn we want to start with. And of course, as always, we'll start with a slip knot and a cast on. So the end of the yarn in one hand, loop it around the finger on the other and twist, pop your thumb through the loop, pull the long end of the yarn through and pull. And then we can pop this onto the first needle, pulling until we've got about a medium tension, not too tight, not too loose, adjust if you need to, and make sure that the short end of the yarn is at the back of the needle. And casting on. Now I'm only doing a short cast on because it's a small project that I'm making, but you do however many you need for whatever you're making, be it a blanket or a doll's arm like mine. And of course we'll go straight into our knit. So to knit, we put the second needle through the first loop at the back of the first needle, pull that yarn over the top of the second needle, and use both hands there to just ease that loop off onto the second needle. And we have done this in a couple of previous videos that I've done, so you can have a better look there if you need to. Otherwise, let's just keep knitting, and we're going to get to a point that we want to change colours. I'll fast forward my knitting process until I get there, and then you feel free to pause this video and meet me when you are done as well. Alrighty, so I'm ready to change colours now, hopefully you all are too. So we're going to make sure that the 2 tail ends of the yarn are on opposite ends of the project, and this is to help us remember that there is a front side and a back side to the project. Make sure that the loops are not bunched up or stretched apart, they're nice and comfortable on the needle, and then bring the long working end of the yarn loosely down the length of the project and hold in place. Then bring it back up the length of the project loosely and hold, and back down the length of the project loosely and hold. Then we're going to leave about 1 inch, and this is going to be to tie the knot. So we can grab our scissors and just chop it off. Then we're ready to get the other colour yarn and change colours. And the knot that I like to use is quite a simple one, but it does the job. So pop the 2 ends of yarn together, leaving that inch that we've already measured out for it. Make a loop, bring the ends of the yarn through that loop, pull tight, making sure you've still got about 1 inch afterwards, we've measured it out. And then pull every single strand of yarn individually. This just makes sure that it's really super tight, and in my experience I haven't had one unravel yet. So chop those ends as close to the knot as you can without chopping the actual knot, and then you get left with a nice tiny knot that isn't going to get in the way, and it shouldn't show at the end of your project. So we're going to knit this row here now. And you're going to see that not much is really going to change until we do the next row. That's where you'll see that colour change. This, by the way, is all with a medium tension while you're knitting. And you can see the knots at the end. So I've managed to keep it at the end where it should be. Perfect. And when we knit this row here, we are officially knitting with the next colour. Brilliant. Now when we get to the end of this row, you will be able to see a very definite front and back side. So here we go. So the front side is this side, so it's all very straight, 2 definite colours. And this is the back side, so that's where we can see that the colours have merged, and you will end up with a little row of one colour through the other. And that's why we make sure to do the colour change the way that I showed you earlier, so that you don't end up with a front side and a back side and it's changed through the middle of the blanket and swapped, and you end up with a project that you're not fully happy with if you're anything as picky as I am. But yeah, anyway, so there's the back side. Like I say, definitely much more defined, front side as well. 2 definite colour changes there. And the way that we've done this, like I say, is for a medium tension. So if you were to do a tight knit, you would only need 2 rows back and forth up your project before knotting. If you were to do a loose knit, you would need more than 3 rows, probably 4 or 5 to get to the end of the project. But here we are, I'm fast forwarding it now, and once I get to the end of this, I will show you very quickly how to do a little cast off, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's finished. Okay, and the cast off to be done, and we are done with our project. So, making sure that you've got the long end of the yarn opposite the short end of the yarn, and we're going to take that second needle and make 2 knits, just the same as we have been, and then take the back loop over the first loop and cast it off. And if you've seen my 2 previous videos, I do show you this in more detail, so feel free to visit those videos if you need to. Otherwise, we are casting off and finishing now. Okay, so we'll pull that loop through and make sure it's all nice and straight, and chop that end off, pulling it through the loop and pulling nice and tight. We can also tighten the knot on the other end, and then we can chop those off. And here we go, everyone. So this is the finished product. So there's very definitely a back side with 2 colours here. You can see where they've changed, but on the front side, if we've done it all perfectly, which I've managed to here, it's 2 very different colours. Well, I hope you all really liked this video. If you did, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and come and knit some more projects with me in the future. Love and teddy bear hugs, and I'll see you in the next one.